On this week's episode, crumple up that math homework because your Fortnite tutor is here. We take a closer look at the world of Anthem. Destiny 2's latest in-game event has arrived, and finally, the folks over at EVE Online apparently do not like money. All of this and much, much more for this week's episode of the Nerf Report.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
Welcome to the Nerf Report. My name is Bryant Chappel. I am the host for this week's episode, and if it's your first time here, welcome. The show is extremely simple. Every single week, we take all the week's gaming, geek, and nerd news, nerf it down into one show once a week for you, the audience. If you think that sounds awesome, go ahead and hit that like button down below. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. And if you need more Nerf Report in your life, head on over to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, where we will give you all the nerfing news you need throughout your nerfing week. And now that all that housekeeping is out of the way, it's finally the moment you've been waiting for. Let's get into this week's news. The HGTV Battle Royale game, Flip or Flop, doesn't exist, but if it did, I'm sure it'd be a whole lot like Fortnite. You know, I mean, every single round being just like the last episode, shoddy craftsmanship, and tons of arguments over wall placements.
You idiot! You should have put the wall over there! You totally killed us!
And since we can't escape the world of Fortnite for even 1 week, let's launch a recurring segment. Fortnite. Please don't copy strike this song. Well, just like most weeks, my Twitter feed was dominated by Fortnite news, but this week people seemed to be extremely excited that parents were hiring Fortnite tutors so their kids could get good. That's right, over 1,400 Fortnite coaches have been hired out by parents since March, with some parents claiming that hiring a tutor is mainly due to the fact that they don't want to see their kids lose anymore, while others admit that they are taking classes so they're not embarrassed by losing to their kids anymore. Personally, I think that this is incredible. I mean, when I was a kid, my parents would scold me for playing too much video games and not focusing on my studies, but parents nowadays are all like, "Now, Johnny, have you played your Fortnite today?" But in all honesty, when it comes to the world of sports, I'm not a fan of the actual sports side. I'm a fan of the entertainment, which is why I am extremely excited for the upcoming ESPN 30 for 30 documentary showcasing some of the world's greatest Fortnite coaches and tutors. In fact, they were kind enough to send me a clip of the upcoming documentary. You know, when a lot of people think about Coach McDougal, they think he was extreme. But in my eyes, I think that his methods were extremely groundbreaking.
Fortnite is not a hard game, gentlemen. You just gotta build, and build.
And of course, yes, he had his anger problems.
And Astro, you call that building? I swear, you should just give up now and go play some Oregon Trail.
But somehow, in all of that madness, he always brought the best out of every single person he coached.
I mean, boys, this isn't hard. There's 3 essential B's to Fortnite. Build, battle, and bully. You know, you gotta get out there sometimes and bully some 12-year-olds. Teach them that this is your house, that you're the parent. They're paying rent.
30 for 30, Coach Donald McDougal. Also this week, EA's upcoming video game, sorry about Mass Effect, has a lot hinging on its success. Anthem is an action role-playing game developed by BioWare. Gamers can play as freelancers who use customizable exosuits called javelins to explore a massive shared world, blow up a bunch of bad guys, and complete missions with friends. Now, EA has a history of closing underperforming studios.
You may fire when ready.
And following the mistakes that BioWare made with Mass Effect Andromeda, a lot of people in the gaming industry, including myself, see Anthem as a make-it-or-break-it title for BioWare. And this week, BioWare's general manager, Casey Hudson, posted a blog update on the studio's progress. And interestingly enough, the most common question that Hudson admitted to getting about the game is about the shape of the story and how exactly shared is the world. And this is the part that interests me, because we are so close to the release of this game. And a lot of the people that are interested in playing it still don't know exactly what it is. I mean, a lot of people prior to E3 were like, it's gonna be just like Destiny. And then following E3, they're like, wow, that looks nothing like Destiny. But to me, I think that this looks like a souped up version of Warframe, which, hey, I'm perfectly okay with. But this hits on a bigger problem for BioWare, because the people that are interested in buying this, your potential player base, is confused by, is it multiplayer? Is it single player? How big of a game are we actually getting? Well, luckily, in the blog post, Casey Hudson hit on those exact issues. Casey Hudson wrote, in the dynamic open world, everything is experienced in real time by all Anthem players. Day, night, weather, and world-scale events that shape the ongoing narrative of the setting, this is the our world which we share as a player community. Then when you return to Fort Tarsis, that's actually a single-player experience, and it's where you spend time developing relationships, making choices, and seeing consequences. That's kind of the my story part. You know, I don't know what it is about comeback stories, but I absolutely love them. I mean, whether it's Rocky, Seabiscuit, or No Man's Sky, I cannot get enough of them. But the big question is Destiny 2 about to join the ranks of some of the greatest comeback stories of all time? Because this week, Bungie unveiled its brand new summer event, the Solstice of Heroes. The Solstice of Heroes began on Tuesday, July 31st. The event is being held at the Tower, and the people of the city will celebrate and thank Guardians for bravely defending them against the Red Legion. You're welcome. According to Bungie, during the in-game event, Guardians will once again don the now broken ceremonial armor from the day that the city was lost to the Red Legion. They do this for many reasons: to remind themselves of what it's like to not be invincible, to challenge themselves and thus inspire the city even more, and to eventually reforge this broken gear into something stronger, just as humanity has been broken and reforged over and over again for hundreds of years. And honestly, if you haven't been paying attention, Destiny 2 has been seeing a resurgence in popularity. And with their upcoming DLC expansion, The Forsaken, Bungie is completely restructuring the way we play Destiny. During the Solstice of Heroes, Guardians will have a new Scorched Armor set. Bungie has also redesigned the vanilla missions with new challenges and alterations, new moments of triumphs, new ships, new ghosts, new guns, new emotes, and new sparrows. Also this week, the space exploration / mining / just awesome simulator, EVE Online, might be one of the coolest games that I've never played. If you haven't heard of it, EVE Online is a persistent world with MMO tendencies that was created back in 2003. And since then, players can take on careers and participate in activities like mining, piracy, trading, explorations, and battles. And the key word there is battle, because this week, one of the largest battles in EVE Online's histories took place. And when I saw the price of how much this battle cost, I honestly wanted to throw up. Now, the in-game currency for EVE is called Interstellar Credits, and this can be acquired through in-game activities or by buying a Plex, also called a pilot license extension. If you were to buy, let's say, 500 Plex for $20, you could earn about 1.5 billion Interstellar Credits. Now, EVE Online has plenty of stuff you could spend your Interstellar Credits on, but I want to talk to you about their ships, because that's where a lot of this money is spent. Back in 2010, the website Jump on Contact created a chart that gave the average cost of ships. For example, the Dreadnought might run you about 108 real-world dollars. The Carrier might run you about $76, but of course, the Titan will run you a whopping 7,600 real-world dollars. And if your jaw just hit the floor, don't bother picking it up, because it's probably going to stay there. Because this week, according to PC Gamer, some 3,500 players have amassed to either attack or defend Keepstar Citadel, owned by the Northern Coalition. And so far, each side has committed a total of almost 400 Titans. That's 400 Titans at $7,600 a pop, which comes out to be $3 million. Excuse me. Continuity. And finally for this week, we come... That noise, of course, signifies that we are running out of time and coming close to the end of the show. So, in order to cover the rest of the week's news, we must initiate Nerfed in 60 seconds. Every single week, we have so much news to talk about and so little time to do it. So we take all the week's remaining news, put 60 seconds on the clock, and try to cover it as fast as humanly possible without running out of breath, passing out, or dying. Just a little behind the scenes note real quick. I am terrible at this segment, which is why I invested in the Infinity Gauntlet. Because who needs to worry about making mistakes when you can just use the time stone and rewind time and do it all over again? So, with that in mind, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. And go. Tesla's Elon Musk is looking for game developers to create games that drivers can play while driving. Because what could possibly go wrong with that? Call of Duty Days of Summer event has officially launched, where players can play in a real-world sandbox as tiny green army men. Super cool. Check it out. H1Z1's Battle Royale is leaving the PlayStation 4 beta on August 7th. PlayStation Spider-Man has gone gold. Sony has officially sold 80 million PlayStation 4s worldwide. Sea of Thieves has sold 5 million copies worldwide. Fractured Butthole, sorry mom, is getting a brand new horror-themed DLC expansion. PUBG has a brand new dynamic weather system. Also, they improved the bullet penetration system. You should check that out. Conan Exiles is getting a new DLC expansion. NBA now has customizable female players. And finally, Capcom is looking at other games that they could possibly remake. And I'm just saying, Resident Evil 6. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for Nerfed in 60 seconds, and that is it for this week's episode of this show. If you like what you saw, make sure to hit that like button. If you're new here and haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. As always, my name is Bryant Chappel. You are you, and this has been the Nerf Report. Thanks for watching.